When it comes to caring for my pets, I would just say I treat them like I treat my children. I mean, I would do anything for them.
I would do anything for them. They are my babies.
When it comes to caring for him, I look out for what's best for him. I definitely have first mother syndrome.
Yeah.
They're our children anyway.
Yeah, they're definitely a part of my family.
I do anything and everything for them as if they were my children.
We just work hard to make sure that we're buying him the right food. We just try to keep up on making sure that he's healthy and happy.
I buy him special food. I know he likes to drink out of the sink. So when I replaced the sink in my bathroom, I bought a special sink for him, a John, so he can drink water.
They go more regularly than me and my husband go to the doctors.
They can't take care of themselves. That's why you're their parents.
I know that they're dependent on me, and that ultimately their happiness and their health all comes down to the job that I do.
For my pet, I would do just about anything.
For my pet, I will almost do anything for them.
Everybody's going to try to find a way to save money the way the economy is. But I won't sacrifice care for my dog or even for my family members, depending on what it is.
Price is no option for me. First thing I did is I Googled the vets in the surrounding area.
I just kind of picked a few, and I looked at, their proximity to the house.
Called a few vets in the area and asked about their location and their hours.
We went by recommendations from our friends and family.
I asked our friends and neighbors about who they went to.
I asked everybody I knew who had a dog or cat.
We looked it up online and read a lot of the other reviews and stuff like that and checked out their website. There's forums about the place and, they're clean, and a couple of the actual bulldog forums that we were looking at mentioned that place specifically.
So we got online and checked reviews, and then we went onto their website.
We looked online, similar to Yelp, for reviews of local vets.
I also checked out discussion forums to see if anybody had said anything about the different vets.
Looking at websites, blogs, what's preferred, what's good in this area, other reviews from people.
I drove to a couple places, looked them over, and then asked them about all the services that they offered.
So we just started taking her there. And we haven't had any problems. It was convenient. It was close to our house.
And after seeing a few, we just determined which one provided the best service.
And then I just started calling them to see who had availability. Fox Valley just happened to be the one that had the appointment. And so I figured, well, you know what, I can go there, and it'll be kind of on the job, evaluation, because if I don't like it, you're not committed. I could always, go somewhere else. I had a very positive experience, and so I just decided to stay at that point.
I knew right away I liked the vet. I liked everything about it, so we've been there ever since.
When we walked in, the first thing that struck me was I loved the girls that worked at the front desk. They were just real welcoming, and you could just tell they wanted the animal there.
The way that they interact with the animals, it's, hi, Michelle. Hi, Abby. Oh, how are you today? And they're really focused on the animals.
The last couple times, the front desk person has not been very kind. The vets were good, the doctors were good. But it's that front desk staff that you come into contact first and last. So that's your first impression, last impression, and I was not impressed.
We liked, the doctor, but we had so many problems with the nurse. It's a long story, I won't get into it. That played a role in us having to leave their practice.
And the behavior from that receptionist, acceptable behavior, that's a telltale sign of what the doctor's side thing is. He might do his great song and dance in front of us, but what's the nit and gritty when they take the dog to the back room? What's really going on?
Everyone helps out. It's like a teamwork there. You can sense it there. It's almost like a family. I feel like I'm part of their group almost.
Going in the receptionist, being personal to the humans and the animals.
Why is that important?
The dog's happy. They say hello, to the dog, and they've got biscuits for the dog.
It's a relationship like any other. So you can tell, when they're not stressed or when they are stressed.
And they're happy like him. When he starts getting sick, he mopes around, and you can tell there's something wrong with him.
I can read my dog and know exactly when he's not right.
The thing that stands out to me the most is how happy and excited he was the whole time.
They have positive interactions with our pet. Every time he's gone there, he goes there for surgery, and he goes in there wagging his little butt and comes out doing the same. So, then they talk to him and they make him feel good.
He gets a little nervous when he goes in there.
You know, you can just tell he kind of starts shaking, and you know, the quicker they can come and get him and do what they need to do, you know, it's less stressful for him and less stressful for me.
They're very accommodating. Usually when you call, they see they try and squeeze you in.
They're available, you know, I work, so I can get her in there after hours or on a Saturday.
The appointments, I don't have to wait days like I used to have to do at PetSmart.
I don't have to wait very long. If I make an appointment, I'm in and out, you know, really quick.
They're knowledgeable, they're friendly, they're caring. You know, I trust them.
I want someone that is still really warm and good with animals, you know, someone that has had animals themselves, you know, and is a real pet person.
They're really caring, and I really feel like they're honest.
And being a cat person, I can tell when you're not a cat person.
But they're both really good with the animals. They're really friendly with them. You know, they're not afraid to get down, pick them up.
The vet included my daughter in the examination and called her an assistant. Because she had said something about loving animals and being an animal lover. She's like, well, you can buy me an assistant today.
Why was that important?
Because it included her, and it made her feel part of the experience we were doing.
Which did what for you?
Oh, it made me proud. It really made me want to switch over to this hospital now, just knowing that he cared enough, not just about the kittens, but about me and the kids and the family, because we were a unit.
It looks very clean there. It's always nice and clean.
Their place is real clean, and you know, there's no smell.
They're very clean. Everything looks real sterile in the room.
Well, you don't want to worry about your animal catching something, you know, from another animal that's there at the vet that might be sick or something like that.
And good billing, I guess. They're honest with their billing.
They seem honest and fair. They're very upfront, and this is what we're going to do. This is the time it's going to take. This is the cost it will be.
I don't know, I didn't feel like I was getting ripped off. I didn't feel like I was being taken advantage of.
I knew going in exactly what I was getting and what it was going to cost me. I never feel like they're trying to take me for a ride, but I do feel that they're giving good care.
They've always just been, you know, honest, never trying to like upsell it or sell us stuff that we didn't need.
They didn't try to sell me anything that I didn't want.
The doctor spends a lot of time with us. You want him to just talk to you and say, do you have any concern?
And it makes you feel how when they do that?
Valuable, important, like my dog is important.
The other thing that stands out to me from the appointment is, you know, the vet was with us the whole time.
A good listener. I mean, he'll sit there and tell me what's wrong with the dog. You know, he doesn't cut in or anything. He's intelligent, he's understanding.
Very knowledgeable. They'll tell us, like, you need these things, but some of these things can wait.
The staff is usually very informative. The vets are very informative. You know, they'll tell you to try this or try that. Like even with the dog foods, you know, I was going for the high dollar stuff, and they're like, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. But stay away from this and stuff. And
for him to look over the dog and make sure there was nothing else, just to see, you know, anything else going on. It's nice that he took the time to do that, rather than, okay, you're here for that. Okay, you know, be on your way.
It wasn't like, we're going to go with this one plan and we're going to stick with this, and I want your dog to take the steroids. They saw that I was not comfortable with the steroids, and they went back and they came back to me with saying, okay, well, maybe this one you'll be more comfortable with.
I think they give sound practical advice. You know, I never feel like I'm being forced to take vaccinations I don't need or, you know, treatments I don't need. They always give me the pros and cons and are, you know, really good and practical, I think, about what they advise. So that's a conversation that we have when we talk about risk factors, and then the vet and I decide together whether it makes sense versus, you know, just feeling like I'm being told you have to get this. The
one thing about Banfield is that their staff changes all the time, so we don't have the same vet every time we go. So some have been a lot more honest than others.
The same people are working there year after year after year. They must love what they're doing and really like that place, so there must be something good about working there, which in turn means, you know, it's probably going to roll over into the type of care that I get.
I will say there they tend to have longevity in their employees. I mean, the tech is the same tech that's always been there. I think they're great.
Is that important to you?
Yeah, it is. Why? Because I think that they treat their employees well, and I think they're going to treat my dog well.
I like that it was the same staff as the previous time, because that to me kind of showed that, you know, the doctor treats his staff well. I like that they remember your pet. I feel like it's more personalized. You know, he's not just a number. He's not just an appointment. He's actually, like, he's part of our family, so it makes him important. to them too, I guess.
The vets remember me, they remember my pet, they remember what we talked about the last couple of visits. You know, they just like you'd want from your own primary care doctor.
It's the same vet that always sees my dog. I like that continuity.
Right from the first call, there was genuine concern on the other end of the phone that, oh, okay, we need to bring them in. Bring them in right now.
Just showing they would treat the dog like if it was their own.
I do feel that they do care, you know, and they spend time with me. They don't just rush me in and out. Our dog's needs were number one.
When I go there, they follow up. They like to send little letters. How's he doing? Or are we doing better? Or
They asked if we had any questions and then called back a week later to follow up. It was a personal touch that, you know, the doctor actually called. It wasn't just one of his staff.
If he had a procedure, they followed up and find out how the pet's doing. For me, my pet are the most important to me. So if someone else acknowledges their importance, it makes me trust that person more.
I have a dog that loves going to the vet, you know, who's like, yay, you know, this is fun, and they give him treats when he does stuff that's good, and, you know. Also, the check-in and check-out processes were very quick, and I had, like, little or no wait time. At this point, what would cause me to leave would be if the vet that I see, if he were to, like, retire.
I say with my guy.
Because what?
Of all comfortable, my pets are happy to go to him.
It's not about finding the cheapest.
No.
No, if my vet raised his prices, I would still go there.
Right. If my doctor moved to a different place, I wouldn't care what the place is.
Then you'd go, no matter, okay.
I wouldn't go anywhere new unless one of the two doctors went there.
So if I could mimic everything I'm getting now, but at a slightly more convenient location, then that would be a draw for me.
Yeah.
And I really like the fact she got on the ground with her. It's like, oh, leave her on the ground. It's easier for her, you know, rather than putting her up on the table where she might fall off. She actually just got down and sat on the ground.
Why do you think that affected you so much?
Because it was putting her needs below the dog.
Got it.
The doctor came to our house to put our dog down. Because he said he knew it would be too hard for us to come in. So, I mean, way out of the way.
The thing that I remember the most is the vet picking up my dog and then putting him on the table. Right away, my dog just stopped shaking and started licking the vet's face. It made me feel like my vet was Dr. Doolittle.
If I call and have to ask a question, somebody will always call me back.
The vet's calling you, giving you the results, so if you do have questions and stuff, you know, he can answer them for you right away.
Once the visit was complete, I remember a couple days later receiving a phone call from the vet to give me the results. So I think that's real important that it comes from the vet and not just the staff. You know, in case I had a question or I researched something and I wanted to ask, they wouldn't have to put me on hold and say, oh, let me go get the vet.
I would also agree that it's really, you want that end-to-end, you know, experience, and that sense of there's a culture there within that office and a family atmosphere where, you know, everyone kind of toes the same line and has the same outlook and personality and perspective.